Winnie,
Pixie.
I have something very exciting I want to talk about. Something very, very important.
Oh, I like to hear all your important things.
Okay. You know how I have recently had a very hard time reading,
Yes.
sitting still long enough to read and not feel like I'm going to combust with anxiety or have a hard
Well,
time focusing.
that's why you like your audiobooks.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have read a book that, dun, dun, dun,
You read?
I read a book.
You read a book
And
too?
not only did I read it, I didn't feel like I was going to jump out of my skin with anxiety because it held my attention.
Oh,
I think that's pretty high praise for this book because I often feel worried about wasting my time. I'm in bed a lot, not feeling well. So if I'm able to try to focus on something, I think is this something that I actually want to spend my daily points on? And this one genuinely felt like it really was worth it. And I didn't get distracted. I didn't have to like constantly go back to different pages because we're like, sometimes you realize you've been reading for 30 minutes and you haven't really actually read anything.
yeah,
You're just kind of
yes.
like on autopilot and you're thinking about other things. That didn't happen with this book, which I wasn't really, really surprised about. I was a beta reader. I was a beta reader and an ARC reader, and I really like it. And I did some stickers for the author, which made me really, really happy and feel kind of special that I got to be a part of it. And oh, duh, I should get to the title of the book. Are you ready?
Yes, please say it.
Drum roll, please. Thousand Lives of Artemis Awakening by Hope
Oh,
Windsor.
oh, you
It's so
sounded like a
beautiful.
narrator.
What?
I said you sounded like a book narrator saying
Oh,
that.
good. But the cover is
That is pretty.
beautiful. The author, her name is Hope Windsor, and she has an Instagram. She goes by the Hope Windsor. Let me look up again the artist's name, Sajuka Art on Instagram, and she has a lot of pretty artworks, but in my opinion, this one is best. It's gorgeous. Everybody that I've talked to that has seen it compliments the book cover, which I think is a big deal because how we were talking about earlier, where a lot of book covers kind of tend to look the same after a while, like a
Yeah.
crown with a little bit of blood dripping off of it, or like a sword on a flower bed, or an apple,
Yeah, I'm
with nothing
definitely
else.
a judge a book by its cover type person.
I am too, and it's rarely steered me wrong, surprisingly.
Right.
But yeah, I really, really liked this book, and it's not out yet. It comes out on the 16th of this month,
Ooh, that
March
soon.
16th. Yes, I'm excited. And it's on pre-order at Barnes and Noble. And I want to talk about it because I really liked it
Yes,
and
I want
I
to hear
want
what
other
you think
people to know
about
about it.
it. What's it
Okay.
about?
It's kind of magical girl vibes, but not like overpoweringly magical girl. It's more of just like she's not the kind of lead, like, I don't know, that has to reject everything that makes her a girl or makes her feminine, but she also is kind of tomboyish. I guess just normal. She's just a normal girl, and I appreciated that. But her name is Kira, and she finds out that she's actually the reincarnated goddess Artemis.
Ooh.
And I didn't know who the Artemis was. I know nothing about Greek mythology except for like one version of Medusa and some things about Zeus, but that's literally it. I know nothing else. So
You didn't learn about Greek mythology in high school?
I probably did. I just don't remember. I was a terrible student. I barely graduated. I did not like lock in and study until my junior and senior year of high school, and then like I barely made it through. I'm not joking. It was bad.
I actually thought you were going to say you weren't allowed to because you were homeschooled with the
My homeschool, like Christian homeschool group.
I thought you were going to say you weren't allowed to learn about it.
No, I think what it is like I was so anxious all the time because of like personal things I was going through, but completely different story. But I liked this book. It held my attention. And like I said, I don't know anything about Greek mythology. I know a little bit more now after reading the book, because it made me more interested in wanting to look certain characters up that I didn't know about that I think are more interesting than Medusa and Zeus. They don't get enough screen time, in my opinion, in all these movies and stuff. But I don't know, like when she first like finds out that she's Artemis, obviously it's kind of like, what are you talking about? No, I'm not. But it goes through this whole thing of her training and like accepting her new life, her new identity, having to leave her old life behind and start fresh with all of these strangers who are also reincarnated Greek gods and goddesses. And it's kind of like it starts out so normal because she is a normal girl, and then she just gets thrown into like, you got to pretend your family is dead. They're dead to you. And like, um, you have a new life now and you need a new name. And she's like, wait, just give me a minute. Give me a second to absorb this information, you know? They're excited to have her there, but at the same time, like she'll shock, you know. But she slowly accepts it and makes a few friends. And there's a character that trains her, who is Athena. And I didn't like her at first because I thought she was just really mean. I thought she was like, she just had like a stick up her butt all the time. But the more you read and get to know her, she's actually very kind. She just has a lot of responsibility on her.
Uh-huh.
And she trains Kira, who takes the name Diana because she needs to have a new identity. Nobody can know who she is, where she is, kind of in hiding,
So
I
like
guess, but like in a
did her family die?
no, but they think she did. Like she just had to disappear. And it kind of felt like her, like in her heart, she had to, like she doesn't use these words in the book, but like for paraphrasing here, like she kind of has to let them go as if they died because she's so worried about
Wow.
them, which is really sad. It's heartbreaking because she has a brother, like a whole family, like siblings, a mom and a dad that she really cares about, and she has to let them go because the hunters, for lack of a better term, they're trying to take down the reincarnated like gods and goddesses, you know, Artemis, Athena, all those people. And if she doesn't hide, her family will be in danger. So it's like she has to, but it's incredibly painful. And I related to that just a tiny bit. Thought that was written really well because I really related to that. But one thing I will say that really, really stood out to me that when I think of this book, and if someone asks me, like, what's a scene that sticks out to you the most that you remember that encapsulates everything, is when she transforms the first time, because it reminded me of the Swan Princess. It was more like intense than that. Like the situation was more serious than that, but just how, you know, she lands in the Swan Princess, she lands on the reflection of the moon. And
Uh-huh.
there's that like beautiful transformation. Like that's kind of how I pictured it in my mind. And she had like, I don't know, like when she's Artemis, she's really badass. She has really long silver hair, you know, enhanced abilities, and she has a beautiful silver bow that is somewhat sentient. It doesn't talk to her, but she can kind of sense its
Ah,
intentions
that's cool.
sometimes.
I like sentient weapons.
Yeah, me too. Because at first at first I got it. I was like, is this going to talk to her? Kind of like in Gun Gale from Sword Art Online, the how her gun, the Peachon, like it eyes pop out of it and it starts talking to her. I wasn't sure if that's what was going to happen, like if her bow was going to start like talking to her, but it doesn't. She can just kind of like, I don't know, sense its power and its intention and things like that, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, it's basically like I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give away any spoilers because I highly recommend that people read it, and I don't want to give away everything, but it's really interesting, like her having to learn how to be a new person while also not losing herself, trying to embrace this new, I don't know, life without betraying herself internally. And I really appreciated that internal conflict because you know how like in isekais, when someone's thrown into this like shockingly new like world, and then
Yeah.
they just accept it,
Uh-huh.
like the one with the vending machine, and he's just like, this is the greatest day of my life. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What do you mean you're not like freaking out?
I
You're
hated
not.
that vending machine.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh.
It was so stupid, but like I've noticed there's a lot of isekais like that where it's like they accept it without any normal
Yeah.
human reaction. And it's like, well, it
Yeah.
might as well not even be an isekai because after the first episode, they don't even reference their old life at all.
Yeah. Oh, that bugs
It's like,
me.
yeah, but I'm glad that this story doesn't do that at all. Like she thinks about her family, she worries about them. She is determined to keep her own identity, and if she has to be somebody new, it's going to be on her terms. And she gets the final say on who she decides to become. And I really really like that. Like she used her memories of her previous life to still build on her new persona that she has to create. It was just seemed a lot more realistic on how a normal person would react in that situation. I was kind of grateful for that because I was like, oh no, I don't want this to be like a this is fantastic. Goodbye family. You're dead to me now. Bye everybody. Okay, see ya.
You should become like a
Um
overpowered boss babe.
yeah, I know. No, not that either, which I appreciated. Like she really struggled like when she's trying to strength train and learn how to use her new powers. Like I said, the goddess Athena is training her and she's having a rough time. And I related to that a little bit because it's like, I don't know, it didn't all click right away. She really, really earned it, not through like perfect practice, but a lot of trial and error and embarrassing moments. But no, I really appreciated that she was relatable, I guess. And I know I've been saying that a lot for like our reviews of books that I like, is I keep saying she's so relatable, but it's like so hard to find female lead books anymore
Yeah,
where she's not just like perfect, where she's either just a bitch and just mean to everybody and it's called like being confident, or
right.
she's just good at everything. She has no faults except that she works too hard. She's too kind. It's just kind of like,
It's hard to
meh.
find it. I know exactly what you're saying. It's hard to find that in books these days, or it's like I can't relate to this character. I'm sorry. I'm not this kind of person. And I don't even know a single person who really is like these characters. It's hard.
Right.
And it's almost like people don't want to find relatable. And I know Twilight like has its hangups, but the thing is she made like Bella so bland. And I think that's what worked well during that time because a lot of teenagers could place themselves in Bella. Was it done like not the
Yeah.
best, of course, but she wasn't a boss, babe, badass person. And I think teenagers related to that. I think that's what made it work well.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you because I think, I don't know, like I understand like fantasy, not everything's going to be realistic. Like before I resort to the totally called for duh. I still think that, especially if it's a young adult book, I don't know, it's refreshing to have a character that is inspiring because they've had a human struggle. They're not
Yeah.
this made up perfect image of what the author thinks the perfect woman should be. I think it's kind of like
Big
how we were
boobies
talking
and
about, yeah, like how we were talking about with Free Ren, how the characters are written, and because they're so detailed and they have depth, good things about them and faults about them, that when they struggle and succeed, you're happy for them. And it's actually genuinely inspiring because you saw the struggle. Kind of like how you were saying, like your main complaint about solo leveling is it kind of just is like, oh, the bad guy's here. Okay, I beat him. I can see how that would not be inspiring.
it's like when he's
No, this
first
one,
learning, it is because it's like you like,
yeah.
I think people in general tend to like the struggle. Star Wars is really popular because of, I mean, I'm just going off of what my husband says with this one, but like Luke is like the big whiny baby in a sense, like through those two movies or whatever. And then, but he ends up training and becoming strong. So I think like with most people, we like to watch a struggle and then someone
Yeah.
grow from it. So like with a lot of female characters in books right now, it's like the struggle isn't really there. And then it's very easily overcome because like they, as you said, boss girl their way out of it. So I agree with the label. I do have a question though. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to
Oh,
ask
it's
this.
okay.
I'm looking
Go
at the
away.
I'm looking at the back of like the summary of the book. And I
Uh-huh.
so I do know a bit about Greek mythology. I learned it in high school and I paid attention.
Good for
Um,
you, because I did not. So tell me.
so it says, a strict Athena leads her harsh training, while the mischievous Hermes clashes with her personality. The only person she can find solace in is Colin, the reincarnated Apollo, which also has its own set of troubles when she develops feelings for him. I do know that these are like the brother sister gods, I guess. And I know like that's Greek mythology, so it's also like Zeus married his sister Hera and all that stuff. But
Mm.
I'm just saying for we remember our last book with the brother sister thing.
Yes.
Yes. So
Blech. Oh my gosh, that was disgusting.
So
Um,
what is that like in here for you?
it's not weird at all, thankfully. Thank you, Jesus. Because I would have thrown the book away. I wouldn't have finished it. That is one unfortunate trope that I just cannot get behind that grosses me out. If there's even a hint of it in anything that I'm watching, I cannot go through with it. I don't care how much I've spent on it. I don't care how much time I've invested. The second it goes there, I'm out. Like the gif with the guy going, wrap it up. The girl starts singing, like, wrap it up.
Good for you for having
No,
those
because like
standards.
but no, like with this one, obviously, like I didn't know anything about Greek mythology. I didn't know about, like, I guess, basic origins for any of these characters.
Mhm.
But I will say, first of all, one thing that I thought when I heard somebody mention that was these characters, by these characters, I don't mean like necessarily in the book. I just mean like these historical characters
Okay, the
have
Greek one.
been, yeah, they've been retold so many times by different people and they've had so many different versions. And sometimes it's hard to even know which one is the real one, like what story is the first one, because it's been retold and altered so many times by different people because it's fiction, right?
Right.
So that's what I thought when I was reading this is it's its own thing apart from that, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
it's not creepy at all. Don't worry. I would not have read it or even I would not have finished it if it was. They actually are really cute together and there's no spicy stuff in this because it's a YA novel and there shouldn't be
Yay.
spicy stuff in YA novels.
I agree 100%. There's a big thing going on in the book community, I guess, with that right now, which I'll have to tell you about that later. I don't want to give any credit
Please
to that
do.
book at all right now with what you're talking about. Like I don't want them to be in the same room
Yeah,
together.
I don't either. They don't deserve to be. But this one's good. It's very appropriate, but it's not like corny, like
Yeah.
it I think because I know a lot of adults read YA novels because they're more fantasy leaning.
Hmm.
I think a teenager would read this and like it, and I think an adult would read it and like it.
Oh, I love those.
Me too. It's very like age appropriate. When I say that, I don't mean juvenile. I just mean there's nothing weird in it.
Right.
Her relationship with Colin, the character you mentioned, is really sweet. Like she is having a really hard time adjusting to her new life, understandably, and he kind of is like a steady presence that helps her, I guess, find herself. Like this new persona she's having to create. She doesn't want to be fake.
Right.
When she's nervous, she's scared. They have to fight demons and monsters, and there's portals, and she's overwhelmed. And he believes in her and encourages her, and he's kind, which I think is really sweet. I was worried he was going to be an asshole, but he wasn't. He was nice.
Not a shadow daddy?
No, oh my gosh, no, thank God. But no, there's no like I didn't even know that in the original 500,000 years ago they were the sibling characters until someone mentioned it, but in this one it's not really that's not like a thing. It's normal, don't worry.
Okay. No weird
So
vibes in it. That makes it go, ooh,
no,
questionable. Okay.
no weird vibes at all. I kind of like picture it like Percy Jackson. Everybody loved those books and those movies, but that takes like a lot of liberty with the stories, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kind of using it as like a jump start, but he's making it his own story still. And this is kind of similar as far as it's the author's own take on these characters, and she makes them her own in like a respectable way, like a respectful
Okay.
way. But
Because there's a lot of other Greek mythologies that take, how did you word it? Like they take the characters and do their own thing with it. And it's just super annoying where it's like, why did you even write about Greek mythology when you don't even know about Greek mythology? There's one, I don't want to get too into it, but it's like the blood of Hercules or something like that, where it's literally just
oh,
names. And I think she even admits
oh,
that she doesn't know anything about Greek mythology. And it's just like really upsetting. So do you think like people that like Greek mythology would be disappointed in this?
no, no, I don't think so
Okay.
at all. Because I think I know what you're talking about, like kind of how the author of Wicked, like people also, I'm baffled at how many people don't know it's not an actual canonically accurate thing. Like they literally think this is the real prequel for
Uh-huh.
The Wizard of Oz, and it's not. It's just kind of like a fan's take on the story, which there's nothing wrong with that. But is that kind of what you mean? Like,
Maybe so. I don't know too much about the original Wicked, so I don't know how to compare them. I know they're different. I just don't know at
yeah,
all the other one besides like some very graphic scenes that should not be
right. Oh my
right, in my
gosh.
opinion.
Yeah.
But
We'll get into that at a different time, but yeah.
yeah, right. I mean,
No,
sorry, what?
no, go ahead. I'll
Oh,
remember.
I was gonna say like I was gonna use the blood of Hercules one where it's
Hmm.
like for instance Hercules is literally a girl, and it's just like she just took names and nothing else matters. It was just it was obviously like a gotcha to the people that like Greek mythology, and there's no
Oh,
respect to the characters at all.
no, no, don't worry. It's not like that at all. I didn't know initially because, like I said, I went into it not knowing anything, but I liked it so much that it made me want to look up the stories of some of the characters and, the things I read, and some of people do like fan art of
Yeah.
Greek mythology characters. I noticed a lot of them look very similar to how the characters are explained in this. Like, not that they look like the fan art, but I just mean it's true to the original character's person, like their personality,
Okay.
like with Artemis, for example, with her bow and her powers. And I don't want to give too much away, but like when I looked up her character, because I was curious, the symbolism is accurate. The stories are accurate with like some liberties here and there. Obviously, it's a story that takes place in modern times, so it's not going to be the story from way back then.
Hmm.
But I could tell that afterwards, when I looked everything up, I could tell that the author knew what she was talking about
Oh,
and
okay.
that she either did a lot of research before writing it and during writing it, or she's a Greek mythology wizard. But either one, I don't know. But she did a really good job. Like, I liked it. I thought it was accurate and true to like the character stories, making it enjoyable for a modern story while preserving the integrity of like the original stories.
Oh,
I think she
cool.
does a good job because that is kind of like when you really think about it, that's kind of a I can imagine a nerve-wracking balance of I don't want to just retell the story that's been told 1,000 times. I want to make a
Yes.
new story that's interesting, but then you also don't want to offend Greek mythology fans. So you're kind of on a tightrope, I guess, wanting to make sure that you're handling it respectfully. And
Right.
I think it is done very respectfully with just enough liberty to make it interesting, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, I liked it. Like I like the bow symbolism, and I never knew. I didn't even know about her before reading this book. But now when I go out and I see like Artemis stuff, like with like a stag or a bow, or like the hunt, the goddess of the hunt, because that's what Artemis is. I'm like, oh, hey, I know you. So it kind of opened up a window of me to understand, a topic that I was never interested in before. I
Oh,
hope
that's
that answers your
cool.
question.
Yes, yes. No, that's neat. I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
that you read a book and you wanted to talk about it, which means like I gotta read this too then, if it caught your attention.
Yes, please, please. I loved it. Like I don't know. I like pretty things. So when I see a book cover that is very pretty, I'm gonna want to give it a chance. I'm gonna want to read it. And
Mhm.
that's kind of what sucked me in with this one also is the cover. It's really pretty.
I'm a
But
sucker
the
for
inside
the
is very
cover
good too.
too. The
I
inside is
know,
good.
and it's I think too, just like liking art and being an artist, I was really impressed. She did a good job. So as she's like being thrown into all of this, I don't know, like shitstorm of like all this stuff being thrown at her, and it's a lot taken, and it's incredibly chaotic and confusing. She kind of gets pulled into what I thought was a vision, like an open vision.
Hmm.
I thought maybe she was like, how in books when you're reading and then someone will have like this almost supernatural experience and then they wake up and they realize it's because they got knocked out or something. And then you're like, oh, okay, it wasn't real. It was just kind of like, it was just a dream.
Yeah.
I thought she was having that kind of a moment. But then this like golden man with like super like angelic radiance around him is like how I pictured him in my mind is like speaking in riddles and she's getting a little frustrated with them like just what are you saying, why am I here, like acting incredibly normal, not going, oh, that's fantastic, I totally accept all this crazy stuff happening to me. He tells her like condensing, sorry, he tells her to hold out her hands and he puts like this glowing marble orb that's like the power of like the suns in it, for lack of a better term. And she's like, a lot happens. A bad guy shows up. Totally, by the way, crashes the party, which I think is really, really rude. The bad guy's looking for her. She's at a party.
He's a bad guy because he
And
crashed
this,
parties.
he's a bad guy, number one, because he crashed a party, and number two, because he's trying to kill her. But
Oh,
I
that's really
think,
rude.
rude for both reasons, because he could have waited, you know? Could have, he
That would have
could
been
have, he
nice.
could have I could have waited. Like he didn't have to like make it all dramatic, but he's like, I think he liked being dramatic. So he crashes the party and everyone's like thinking he's just this eccentric guy at first because it's like, where's your shirt? Sir? No shoes, no shirt, no service. Get out of here. But you hear like this beeper, like, and then you find out that he is looking for Artemis also, like Colin is, and like the people who bring her into her new life. So he just crashes the party, starts killing a bunch of people. There's all this screaming, super dramatic, incredibly earth shattering, everybody at this party. And I just remember thinking, what a freaking asshole.
He could have waited till the end of the
He could
party.
have he could have waited. He could have got her after the party. He could have waited and it would have been, I don't know, like smarter for him. But the thing is he's not very smart. That's the point. But he's just kind of like, we need to get her, we need to find her. And I'm like, it would have been easier if you'd have just kind of, I don't know, grabbed her on her way home. But anyways, that's I'll let you read the story and determine for yourself. I'd like to hear what people think about that because I was like, well, how rude. I know he's a bad guy, but still that was rude.
Even for a bad guy, that's
Um,
too far.
that is too far. He crashed a party. People were having fun. No, but that did catch me off guard though. I was like, what is happening? And then he was like, and he like killed everybody. Kind of like the same. It was kind of the same shock of like, what the heck? As when you were telling me about Basic Girl, Orphan. What's the name of the book?
Oh,
Powerless.
powerless.
With yeah,
It's
where
like
like
orphan,
she
that's
has her.
all of them.
I know, but like with her that moment where you're like her best friend shows up and then the guy she goes and you're like run and then she gets impaled and I was like ah, like that's kind of like how shocking it was for me because it was completely normal until that guy shows up and I'm like this took a left turn, oh my gosh. Yeah, but I don't want to give too much away, but I thought he was a jerk. He's not the main bad guy, by the way, but he is a bad guy. Just kind of like the introduction into the negative side of gods and goddesses. But yeah, it's good. I really, really liked it. And I don't know. I want people to read it. I want to hear people's thoughts on it, what you like about it. Talk about how pretty the cover is, all that good stuff, because it's rare that I find a book that I actually like lately. So to
Yeah,
me,
it's
it's a very
fine.
big deal.
Wait, what would you rate it?
I would rate it. You mean like out of 5 or out of 10?
I guess so. But out of five. It's always out of five.
I personally would rate it 4.5 out of 5 just because. So technically 5 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5 just because I'm so much older than the main character. I like reading books where I'm the same age.
That makes sense.
But as it like that aside, that factor taken out, I think it's a 5 out of 5. Like
Oh, that's a
legit for
nice
real.
rating.
So yes, it is because it's a good book. I liked it.
So, I know it's not mentioned here, but you told me a little bit that this is an indie author,
Yes.
and because of that, I started looking into indie authors, and this one's Greek, but my husband really likes Norse mythology, so like going down the rabbit hole of indie authors, I found this one author, I think Kayla Ann, and she's got one called Well of Dreams. So I bought it. I haven't read it, but maybe I don't know. I thought maybe this would be a good time to give like a shout out to indie authors as well, because we read like
Oh
the
yeah.
bigger books, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. Like, so you're starting it off with this one. I was thinking maybe I'd read that Well of Dreams book. And I was thinking if any other people want to comment about other indie authors, I thought it'd be kind of nice to give them a little bit of spotlight as well.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I really, really like that because this kind of gave me I'm not because I don't like write, like obviously, oh my gosh. But this gave me kind of a different perspective into, I guess, the book world because when I would read or listen to something, it's like a major title and like a big publishing company that's in my face, you know?
Yeah.
But this one being a beta reader, an ARC reader, and finding it more like from an indie author, I don't know. I was really shocked at how I don't know under how underrated and overlooked indie author are because indie authors are tongue twister, sorry. Because and I think it's really refreshing to find a new realm, a new world of indie authors that actually have refreshing stories. Because I feel like the mainstream publishing companies are just kind of making the same thing over and over and over,
Yeah.
and it's just not fun to read anymore. But I would definitely love to hear about other indie authors also, because I think I don't know, it would be refreshing. I
I
think I would like it.
agree. Okay, that'll be a new thing then.
Yeah.
So if you guys know any good indie author books, please leave it down in the comments.
They rant and rave like